We've all experienced the thrill of slipping on an old jacket or a pair of trousers we haven't worn in a long time and discovering money in pockets we'd entirely forgotten about. But suppose you got a hidden treasure by mistake. I don't know if you're that lucky, but some people definitely are, and today we're going to talk about the biggest treasures found by mistake. When a farmer in Ballycastle, Northern Ireland, misplaced his wedding band while working in his field, he devised a cunning strategy to recover it. He had two friends with metal detectors, so he phoned them to come and assist him to search for them. Paul Reynard and Michael Gwynn never found their farmer's friend's ring, but they did discover a treasure trove hidden beneath the mud that was considerably more precious. It was a collection of 84 coins dating back to the 16th century, including an ultra-rare golden coin from the reign of the legendary English king Henry VIII. Experts are still valuing the coin collection, but they'd expect it to be worth more than $100 million when it's all added up. It might turn out to be the most important coin findings in Northern Ireland. The pals are thinking to cash their surprise discovery and divide the money equally among themselves. When builders were renovating the Redland House in Chester, England in 2015, they almost threw away a priceless piece of history. The hotel thought this old wooden bed was Victorian but also worthless, so they decided to send it to the auction. The workers took it outside and left it in a car park, where collector Ian Cowell paid £2,000 to take it. He brought the bed home with him, but he was skeptical of the Victorian origin story because it appeared to him to be much older. And subsequent tests confirmed that not only does the bed frame date back from the 15th century, but DNA tests on the timber frame have conclusively proven that it once belonged to King Henry VII, who ruled England from 1457 to 1503. However, the bed's true provenance is unknown antique. Experts estimate it may be worth up to £20 million. For the time being, it hasn't been sold and is on public display instead of repair work that didn't go as planned for the hotel and its expensive beds. However, for a couple named Eddie and Angela in Phoenix, Arizona, things went considerably better. They were renovating their home when they discovered a 4-digit code behind the medicine box in one of their rooms. They didn't think much of it until they removed a section of the wall and discovered an old safe. The code immediately opened the safe, revealing a treasure trove of over $50,000 in banknotes dating back to the 1960s, as well as a vintage bottle of bourbon from the 1920s. To make matters worse, the book was dubbed a guide for the puzzled and featured an ancient black and white photo of a guy as well as a map with a cross put on it in the area of Mesa, Arizona. There was also a bingo card with the number 66 marked on it, as well as text sections underlined in the book. The pair believes it's a coded treasure map, though they haven't been able to decode it. In Manchester, England in 2011, the chef purchased a building that once belonged to the Midland Bank and set about the task of converting it into an eatery. However, doing so required breaking open the long-forgotten safes down in the vault of the abandoned building, where construction workers discovered more than £1 million in cash. There were some pretty obvious findings among the forgotten things, such as gold and jewelry, but there was also rarer artifacts, such as master tapes of recordings by famous Manchester band New Joy Division. Any old artifact relating to Twain is certain to be valuable, but one of the most highly prized of all turned up in a librarian's attic in Hollywood in 1991. Mark Twain is considered to be the most significant writer in American history, so much so that his nickname is simply the Great American Novelist. It's an early manuscript of Huckleberry Finn, often considered to be Twain's best work. The 600-page manuscript vanished in unexplained circumstances during the 19th century. Although an explanation may now have been discovered, the librarian's grandfather was a lawyer who is known to have worked on Twain's behalf. During his lifetime, it appears that Twain sent the manuscript to the librarian for safekeeping and never asked for it back. The librarian had no idea it was even there and discovered it completely by chance while sorting through old belongings in the attic. It's estimated that the manuscript could be worth over $500,000 if auctioned, but the librarian, who did not want to be named, sold it. The Schroeder treasure is a collection of valuable items that have been turning up piece by piece since the 1980s, and bits of it continue to turn up today. The story began in 1985 when a collection of gold jewelry coins and precious stones were discovered during renovation work in the Polish town of Schroeder. All of the pieces that make up the treasure date back to the 14th century. Construction workers were digging the foundation of a new telephone exchange when the treasure was found, but before the site could be secured, news of the discovery spread and the treasure was looted. The Polish government have made several attempts to recover the looted treasure, including offering to pay for it and then launching criminal investigations. They believe they have most of it now, but they know that some of it is still out there. Well, after knowing these stories of accidental treasure findings, you guys might be thinking you might be able to find one. Well, that's on you, but do tell us in the comments below which was your favorite accidental treasure finding, and tell us about any other findings which we may have not covered. Do like and share the video if you found it interesting, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more amazing content.